Working clearance around a 4,160-volt capacitor bound cabinet must be a minimum of 3 feet, which is equivalent to 0.91 meters, on all sides. This clearance is crucial for ensuring the safety of personnel who may need to access the equipment for maintenance, inspection, or repairs. Adequate working space allows electricians and technicians to perform their tasks without unnecessary risk of electrical shock or injury. It also provides sufficient room to maneuver tools and equipment effectively. The 3-foot clearance requirement applies to all sides of the capacitor bank cabinet, including the front, back, and sides. This ensures that personnel can safely access any part of the equipment as needed. The measurement should be taken from the enclosure of the capacitor bank to any obstruction, such as a wall, another piece of equipment, or a fence. Maintaining the correct working clearance is not only a safety measure, but also a code requirement in many jurisdictions. Electrical codes, such as the National Electrical Code or NEC, specify minimum clearance distances for electrical equipment operating at various voltage levels. These codes are designed to protect workers and prevent electrical hazards. Compliance with these codes is essential for ensuring a safe working environment and avoiding potential fines or legal issues. In addition to the minimum clearance requirement, it's also important to consider other factors that may affect worker safety, such as the presence of obstacles or potential hazards in the work area. Any obstacles that could impede access to the equipment should be removed or relocated. Potential hazards, such as sharp edges or slippery surfaces, should be addressed to prevent accidents. Proper lighting is also important for ensuring that workers can see clearly and perform their tasks safely. Adequate lighting can help to prevent trips, falls, and other accidents. Regular inspections of the work area can help to identify and address potential hazards before they cause injuries. Another important aspect of maintaining a safe working environment around a capacitor bank cabinet is proper training. Workers who may need to access the equipment should be trained in the hazards associated with high voltage electricity and the procedures for working safely around electrical equipment. Training should cover topics such as lockout-tagout procedures, personal protective equipment or PPE requirements, and emergency response procedures. Lockout-tagout procedures are designed to prevent accidental energization of electrical equipment during maintenance or repairs. These procedures involve disconnecting the equipment from its power source and placing a lock and tag on the disconnect switch to prevent it from being turned on. Personal protective equipment, such as insulated gloves, safety glasses, and arc flash suits, can help to protect workers from electrical shock and burns. Emergency response procedures should be in place to address potential emergencies, such as electrical fires or injuries. Workers should know how to contact emergency services and how to provide first aid to injured personnel. The distance from a fence surrounding a transformer yard to the structure supporting an air switch must be 10 feet, which is equivalent to 3.5 meters or more. This distance is critical for ensuring the safety of personnel and preventing unauthorized access to the high-voltage equipment within the transformer yard. The fence serves as a physical barrier to deter unauthorized individuals from entering the area and potentially coming into contact with energized equipment. The 10-foot clearance requirement provides a safe buffer zone between the fence and the air switch structure. This buffer zone helps to prevent accidental contact with the equipment and provides sufficient space for personnel to move around the air switch during maintenance or inspection activities. The measurement should be taken from the fence to the nearest part of the air switch structure, including any supporting beams, insulators, or other components. Maintaining the correct distance from the fence to the air switch structure is not only a safety measure but also a code requirement in many jurisdictions. Electrical codes specify minimum clearance distances for various types of electrical equipment, including air switches, to ensure the safety of personnel and the public. Compliance with these codes is essential for avoiding potential fines or legal issues. In addition to the minimum distance requirement, it's also important to consider other factors that may affect safety and security, such as the height of the fence and the presence of warning signs. The fence should be high enough to deter unauthorized individuals from climbing over it. Warning signs should be posted to alert people to the presence of high voltage electricity and the potential hazards associated with entering the transformer yard. Regular inspections of the fence and the surrounding area can help to identify and address any potential security breaches or safety hazards. Any damage to the fence should be repaired promptly to maintain its effectiveness as a barrier. Vegetation around the fence should be kept trimmed to prevent it from obstructing the view of the equipment or providing cover for unauthorized individuals. Proper lighting is also important for deterring unauthorized access and enhancing security. Adequate lighting can help to make it easier to detect intruders and prevent vandalism or theft. Security cameras can also be installed to monitor the transformer yard and provide additional security. The footage from the cameras can be used to investigate any suspicious activity or incidents. In addition to physical security measures, it's also important to implement administrative controls to enhance safety and security. These controls may include procedures for authorizing access to the transformer yard, training employees on security protocols, and conducting background checks on personnel who may have access to sensitive equipment. Access to the transformer yard should be restricted to authorized personnel only. Employees should be trained on the importance of security and the procedures for reporting any suspicious activity or security breaches. Background checks can help to identify individuals who may pose a security risk. By implementing a combination of physical security measures and administrative controls, it's possible to create a safer and more secure environment for the transformer yard and the surrounding area. Regular reviews of security protocols and procedures can help to ensure that they remain effective and up to date. Any changes in the environment or the threat landscape should be taken into account when reviewing security measures. For example, if there has been an increase in vandalism or theft in the area, it may be necessary to enhance security measures, such as by installing additional lighting or security cameras. It's also important to stay informed about the latest security technologies and best practices. New technologies and techniques are constantly being developed to improve security and prevent unauthorized access to critical infrastructure. By staying informed about these developments, it's possible to implement the most effective security measures and protect against potential threats. In summary, maintaining adequate working clearance around a 4160-volt capacitor bank cabinet and ensuring a sufficient distance from a fence to an A switch structure are essential for ensuring the safety of personnel and the security of electrical equipment. Compliance with electrical codes and implementation of appropriate security measures are crucial for preventing accidents, injuries, and unauthorized access. Regular inspections, proper training, and ongoing maintenance are also important for maintaining a safe and secure environment. Remember, the 3-foot clearance around the capacitor bank and the 10-foot distance from the fence to the air switch structure are minimum requirements. Depending on the specific circumstances and local regulations, it may be necessary to provide even greater clearances or distances to ensure adequate safety and security. It is important to consult with qualified electrical engineers and safety professionals to determine the appropriate requirements for each specific installation. They can assess the potential hazards and risks and recommend the necessary measures to mitigate those risks. They can also help to ensure that the installation complies with all applicable codes and regulations. Furthermore, it is important to document all safety measures and security protocols. This documentation can be used to train employees, conduct audits, and demonstrate compliance with regulatory requirements. The documentation should include details of the clearance distances, security measures, training programs, and emergency response procedures. Regular audits should be conducted to verify that the safety measures and security protocols are being followed correctly. Any deficiencies identified during the audit should be addressed promptly. The audit results should be documented and used to improve safety and security practices. Finally, it is important to foster a culture of safety and security within the organization. Employees should be encouraged to report any potential hazards or security breaches without fear of reprisal. They should also be empowered to take corrective action when they identify a safety or security issue. By creating a culture of safety and security, it is possible to minimize the risk of accidents, injuries, and unauthorized access to electrical equipment. This will help to protect employees, the public, and the environment. The information provided is intended for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Always consult with qualified electrical engineers, safety professionals, and legal experts to ensure compliance with all applicable codes, regulations, and standards. They can provide tailored advice based on your specific circumstances and help you to implement the most appropriate safety and security measures. It is also important to stay up to date with the latest developments in electrical safety and security. Codes, regulations, and standards are constantly evolving, so it is important to stay informed about the latest changes. This will help you to ensure that your safety and security practices remain effective and compliant. In addition to the specific requirements for clearance distances and security measures, it is also important to consider the overall design of the electrical installation. The installation should be designed to minimize the risk of electrical hazards and to facilitate safe and easy access for maintenance and repairs. The layout of the equipment should be optimized to provide adequate working space and to minimize the risk of accidental contact with energized components. The installation should also be designed to withstand the environmental conditions at the site. For example, if the installation is located in a harsh environment such as a coastal area or a desert, it may be necessary to use corrosion-resistant materials and to provide additional protection against the elements. Proper grounding is also essential for ensuring electrical safety. The grounding system should be designed to provide a low impedance path for fault currents, which will help to prevent electrical shock and equipment damage. The grounding system should be regularly inspected and tested to ensure that it is functioning properly. Surge protection is another important consideration for electrical installations. Surges can be caused by lightning strikes, switching operations, or other events. Surge protection devices can help to protect sensitive equipment from damage caused by surges. The surge protection devices should be selected based on the specific characteristics of the electrical system and the equipment being protected. Regular maintenance is essential for ensuring the long-term reliability and safety of electrical installations. The maintenance program should include regular inspections, testing, and repairs. The maintenance should be performed by qualified personnel who are trained in electrical safety procedures. A well-designed and maintained electrical installation will provide reliable power and protect against electrical hazards. It will also help to reduce the risk of downtime and equipment damage. By following these guidelines, you can create a safer and more efficient electrical system. Remember that electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. By working together, we can create a safer environment for ourselves, our colleagues, and the public. In conclusion, remember the key takeaways. Firstly, maintain a minimum clearance of 3 feet around a 4160-volt capacitor bank cabinet for safe working conditions. Secondly, ensure a distance of 10 feet or more from a fence surrounding a transformer yard to the structure supporting an air switch to prevent unauthorized access and ensure safety. Thirdly, always consult with qualified professionals and adhere to local electrical codes and regulations to guarantee the safety and compliance of your electrical installations. These measures are crucial for protecting personnel, preventing accidents, and maintaining a secure electrical environment.